From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Tuesday morning. We had two fires that sparked up in the area yesterday. One in Kittitas County, one in Grant County. We'll go ahead and we'll start talking about the Red Bridge fire, which is burning off the 4800 block of Red Bridge Road in Cle Elum. It's 53 acres. We did see evacuations with this one that are still in place. So in the red, you have level 3 evacuations. In the yellow, level 2 evacuations. We'll take a little tour here. Loping Road, Will Road, that is where level 3s were issued, so that's where it's mandated by law that you have to be out of there. And then in this level 3 area, that's along and north of State Route 970, along into the south of Red Bridge Road, and then on the eastern flank of that, this includes Quail Road as well. So in those areas, you have to be packed, you have to be ready to leave at a moment's notice. The other fire in the region, like I said, in Grant County, the Sand Hollow fire, this one near Road 11 Southwest in Royal City, Washington. It is 126 acres, and there's going to be the threat for more fires to start and spread quickly once again. For today, we'll have those ingredients in place, more ingredients in place for Wednesday and Thursday. Very quickly, temperatures right now, 60s and 70s for lower elevations. Going to be another hot day. Will be up around 100 for lower elevations. Bottom line for the forecast, dangerous fire weather Tuesday through Thursday, but cooler, much cooler by the end of this week, and the forecast staying dry. We'll talk about all this coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, that wildfire near Cle Elum scorching dozens of acres, destroying structures, and triggering evacuations like you just heard from Josh. We have the very latest from fire officials.
And with temperatures on the rise and summer on the horizon, are water restrictions on the way? Our William Albert spoke with the Kennewick Irrigation District and has the answers on that watering plan.
And a heads up to drivers in Yakima, we have a traffic alert that could affect your morning commute. It's all on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now, Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
I'm Jade Elliott. It is Tuesday, June 10th. It is the last day of school for a lot of kids around the region.
For your kiddos?
Yep, my kids are out today.
Are they excited?
Of course they're excited.
Of course. It's
yeah.
summer. We're going to have hotter temperatures.
Yes.
And Josh will touch on that in just a few, but we're going to start this morning off following breaking news out of Kittitas County. This is just outside of Cle Elum, where the Red Bridge fire continues to grow.
Yeah, you saw it on one of those maps Josh just showed you moments ago. As of the latest update, this fire has burned about 53 acres. That number, though, expected to increase. State Fire Assistance has been mobilized to support local crews that are already on the ground.
And the fire sparked yesterday afternoon around 4 o'clock and is burning through timber, grass, and structures. Level 2 and 3 evacuations are in place with homes, power lines, and other infrastructure at risk. Overnight shelters have been made available at the Centennial Center in Cle Elum.
State Emergency Operations Center has activated to that level 3 to help coordinate resources. 3 strike teams are also being sent in, and the State Fire Marshal's Office is actively managing this response.
The U.S. Forest Service is now leading firefighting efforts. 2 structures have been confirmed destroyed so far. The families affected have been contacted and offered assistance.
The cause of the fire is still under investigation this morning. We'll, of course, continue to monitor it and bring you updates as they become available to us.
Also, fire crews from local, state, and federal agencies are working to contain a wildfire burning in west central Grant County. The fire has scorched more than 200 acres near Road 11 Southwest and Road R Southwest, just a few miles east of the Vantage Bridge and close to State Route 26. It's burning through Timothy Hay and sagebrush, but officials say there is no threat to the public right now. No evacuations have been ordered, and there are no road closures in the area. Firefighters are operating under a unified command to manage the flames and keep things under control.
It all comes as a red flag warning remains in effect this morning for parts of central and southeastern Washington, including the Kittitas Valley and the lower Columbia Basin. So the warning, which began Monday afternoon, continues through 8 p.m. tonight with a combination of gusty winds, low humidity, and extreme heat, creating dangerous wildfire conditions. Fire officials are urging everyone to use caution, especially during the afternoon and evening hours when the risk of a rapid fire spread is at its highest. And that includes avoiding activities like outdoor burning or using equipment that can spark. With triple-digit temps and dry vegetation, conditions are primed for fires to ignite and quickly spread.
And with summer heating up and water use on the rise, you might be wondering if water restrictions are on the way. But the Kennewick Irrigation District says for now, mandatory water schedules are not in the plans.
All right, so Apple Valley News Now's William Albert shows us how the district is monitoring part of the Tri-Cities water supply and how you can help prevent waste.
The Kennewick Irrigation District, which serves Kennewick, Findlay, and parts of South Richland, says their water supply has gotten smaller over the last couple of months. However, thanks to the strong public participation in their voluntary water schedule and a healthy snowpack still in the Cascades, there's no need yet for stricter measures. The district says public participation in the voluntary schedule is key because a mandatory one could only mean watering on specific days or at specific times.
And mandatory schedules can be rigorous. We expect people to follow a certain schedule at certain times, whereas the voluntary schedule is a little bit more flexibility there, and we anticipate with the remainder of the year, with the year remaining, we don't have to switch to a mandatory schedule.
But water rights also play a big role in how much the district gets and when.
This summer, the Kennewick Irrigation District will be receiving 43% of their full entitlements. That is because the district only has junior water rights.
The average water supply that we get, that's from the Bureau of Reclamation. That's not something that KID decides. The Bureau, who manages the Yakima Water Basin System, is the one that says, hey, junior water rights get this, this percentage for the year.
Berglund says the district also counts on help from nature, specifically the lingering snowpack in the Cascades, to stretch its water supply deeper into the summer.
Well, that's what KID relies on as the fifth reservoir is the snowpack. So if that lingers throughout the summer, that gives us additional water supply versus if there's no snowpack and we're just relying on the reservoir levels alone, those reservoir levels get used for a variety of things, including fish. So those things just drain quickly, and that lessens how much water supply we have for the end of the summer.
And when it comes to preventing water waste, Berglund says it often comes down to the simple stuff.
Biggest water usage that's wasted is maybe there's a sprinkler that's broken and it's running down the street. A lot of businesses may not check on their sprinkler system every single day because you put it on a timer and you kind of forget about it. But if a sprinkler's broke and it's flooding down the road, that's a lot of waste there.
His message: make sure everyone gets a fair share of this limited resource.
So at least for our district, it's important that we all share the same resource. So we live in a very dry, arid climate, and it's important that we have enough water for everybody to use throughout the course of a season.
Making sure there's enough water for everyone, no matter how hot it gets. In Kennewick, William Albert, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, William. Now, officials say sticking with the voluntary schedule will help ensure there's enough water to go around through the hot summer months. And you can learn more up on our website. Head to applevalleynewsnow.com.
5:07 now to a traffic alert for Yakima drivers. Waterline work on Fair Avenue will bring some traffic restrictions to commuters today. Those restrictions are going to be between Pacific Avenue and Adams Street. Crews are going to be on site starting at 7 o'clock this morning, working through the day until about 3:30 this afternoon. So during that time, Fair Avenue will be reduced to one lane in both directions. And with traffic already heavy in that area, delays are expected. So drivers are being asked to take alternative routes if possible, and to remember that the speed limit through all work zones in Yakima is 20 miles per hour. So access to home and businesses will still be available as much as possible. Emergency vehicles will still be allowed through the area, but there could also be some delays in trash pickups for nearby residents.
In a follow-up now, we know the cause of a rollover crash that sent one person to the hospital and shut down part of Highway 395 near Mesa on Monday. Troopers say a tire blew out, causing the car to flip into the grassy median. The 75-year-old woman was trapped inside for 25 minutes before crews could safely free her. She was then airlifted to a nearby hospital. Her condition has not been released. One southbound lane of 395 was closed for over 2 hours while first responders cleared the scene. And the crash is still under investigation by Washington State Patrol.
5 at 9, new information this morning. The city of Sunnyside has a new interim city manager. They've named Jim Bridges to take that role. Mayor of Sunnyside says Bridges isn't a stranger to the city of Sunnyside. He has served in the past as the city of Sunnyside's public works director. He's also served as an interim city manager before, as the city looked for a city manager in the past. Well, the mayor says Bridges was amongst the number of applicants who sent in an application and resume. Despite a 4-3 split vote, the mayor says he was the candidate that the council felt the most comfortable with. Now that there's a new interim city manager, this is where the council stands in its investigation.
We authorized our attorney to contract with an investigating company that specializes in that sort of thing. They do HR investigations, and so they will get started on that as soon as possible.
It all comes after the council voted to place the current city manager on a non-disciplinary 30-day paid administrative leave, which now has less than 25 days left of its investigation.
Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest. Tensions continue to boil over as President Trump deploys 700 Marines to the LA immigration protests. Coming up, we'll have the latest details on this ongoing feud between the people, the governor, and the president.
But first, giving you a live look outside this morning from our Bi-Mart camera in Yakima. Chief, shaky. It is a little shaky, isn't it? I know. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth, he is going to be back with us after the break with your first alert forecast and fire watch as well. It is 10 minutes after 5, and we'll be right back.
Ryan wants to get every new device that's smart. I'm wondering, how can the internet handle all of this?
We have Spectrum Internet. We use it for everything. Homework, remote work from home, doing research for trips.
Spectrum Internet allows us to do things faster and more conveniently.
I feel like that's a win-win for everybody.
Fast, reliable internet starting at $30 a month, backed by the Spectrum commitment to keep you connected.
We think three-pointers should be called triple play.
And we brought in a basketball expert to support us.
Just former college and pro star Rob Sacre.
So, Rob, what do we call, one of these?
Triple play.
You know, shooting triple plays wasn't exactly my specialty.
Well, outside shooters are well outside our budget.
Triple Play has fun attractions for everyone, including go-karts, mini golf, and many more, all attached to a cozy hotel.
Rob, how did you score?
At Fred's Appliance, we understand dishwashers, and nobody carries more Bosch dishwashers than us. We're the #1 Bosch dealer in the region, so you won't find this kind of selection in box stores. With every model in stock and ready to go, you can get a new dishwasher today. Swing into Fred's. We have thousands of in-stock get-it-today appliances, making us the most convenient choice around. Your local appliance expert since 1962. At Fred's, we sell appliances, only appliances.
Life. It's a crazy thing when you think about it. It's either about making memories or remembering those moments that matter most. Broadmoor RV has been serving families and its community in the Pacific Northwest for over 20 years. From travel trailers to toy haulers, truck campers, motorhomes, and fifth wheels, we have what you need to start creating memories with the ones you love. So get out there and make those memories last a lifetime. Broadmoor RV. We make camping fun.
For 600 different cigars and 125 pipe tobaccos. For every cigar rated 96 and higher by Cigar Aficionado. For 200 accessories including dozens of humidors and fine pipes. It's the educated cigar.
These are the days. The stakes do not get any higher.
I pledge allegiance to what I believe in. Live to fight another day of yesterday beat me. Cause these are the days anything can happen.
The NBA Finals, Game 3 on ABC.
Register today. Register your team for $140. Ends midnight Tuesday, June 24th.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Yesterday was the hottest June 9th on record. As for Ellensburg, Yakima, the Tri-Cities, Hermiston, Pendleton, and Walla Walla, we all broke the previous record set back mostly in 2015 for Walla Walla, set back in 1999. So a hot day yesterday. It's going to be another hot day today. The National Weather Service in Pendleton has this heat advisory still posted until 9 p.m. this evening. Also a red flag warning up until 8 p.m. this evening. Okay, on to your CoatCast for today. For the Tri-Cities, this is kind of a moot point as you're not going to need a jacket for today. Maybe the lightest jacket you would ever need for this morning, but for the rest of the day, it's obviously going to be t-shirt weather out there. So for today, mostly sunny skies. We'll have high temperatures that, yeah, even though they'll be cooler compared to yesterday, they'll still be about 20 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. That means 90s and triple digits once again for lower elevations, 70s and 80s up in the mountains. And even for today could be the warmest June 10th on record, as it looks not as likely that we'll break or tie those records in Pendleton or Ellensburg, but Yakima, Tri-Cities, Hermiston, Walla Walla, all of those areas have a pretty good shot of breaking records once again. For tonight, we'll start to see clouds picking up a little bit, but in spite of that, still a pretty mild evening as overnight low is going to be down in the 60s for lower elevations, 40s and 50s up in the mountains. Now, even though our high temperature is going to be trending down over the next few days, fire weather impact's going to stay elevated. So I'll tell you about that. I'll show you the wind gusts and a preview, a very long-term preview of the weekend forecast. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks so much, Josh. 5:15 in your national headlines this morning. President Trump is sending hundreds of Marines to L.A. amid protests against immigration raids. Demonstrations now spreading to other cities across the country as well.
And this comes as Trump says he's open to the idea of arresting California Governor Gavin Newsom, saying his crime is running for office. Perry Russum has the latest in this developing situation.
This morning, President Trump sending 700 Marines to Los Angeles amid the protests against immigration and customs enforcement. The Marines will support the nearly 1,700 National Guard troops already on the ground, some seen here protecting a courthouse.
The introduction of federal military personnel without direct coordination creates logistical challenges and risks confusion during critical incidents.
LA's police chief says most of the protests in the city have been peaceful. He says those who engage in violence or vandalism will be arrested. LA Mayor Karen Bass says the federal government's response is contributing to the chaos.
It makes me feel like our city is actually a test case for what happens when the federal government moves in and takes the authority away from the state or away from local government.
It comes as peaceful demonstrations against ICE are spreading to other major cities nationwide, including Atlanta, Chicago, and New York.
We are not criminals.
California Governor Gavin Newsom now in a war of words with President Trump after Trump expressed support of arresting Newsom. ABC's Karen Travers with the president.
What crime has he committed that would warrant his arrest? What crime has Governor Newsom committed?
A crime has he committed?
Yeah, to warrant his arrest, as you had
I think his
suggested earlier.
primary crime is running for governor because he's done such a bad job.
Newsom challenging Trump on a podcast.
I told the president, just get it over with. Arrest me. Move on.
And this comes as California has sued the Trump administration, trying to block the deployment of National Guard troops and Marines.
Yeah, the mayor claims that those troops are only protecting 2 federal buildings downtown. Of course, a story we'll keep you updated on. Still much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Checking back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth. He'll have your full first alert forecast as we give you that live look outside from our Bimart camera in Yakima. It is 17 minutes after 5, and we'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Alan Brecky from Alan Brecky Law Offices. For over 30 years, we've been protecting public safety in the Tri-Cities and surrounding communities. Some of our cases over the years have contributed to safer roads, safer public events, and a safer environment for our children.
Did you know Astria Health has the only team of neurosurgeons in the Lower Valley? Patients no longer need to travel long distances to receive the spine care they need. Patients with spinal tumors, stenosis, herniated or degenerative disc diseases, spine trauma, fractures, or spinal cord injury can be seen by an Astria neurosurgeon in Prosser, Sunnyside, or Zillah. Ask your primary care provider for a referral to one of our neurosurgeons. Astria Health, exceptional rural health care close to home.
Summer's heating up. That means it's time to dive in. Pasco's Memorial Aquatic Park opens Saturday, June 14th. Get signed up for swim lessons, grab your season passes, and don't miss your chance to join the Pasco swim team. Looking to cool off? Open swim runs daily from 1 to 5:45 p.m. So grab the family and come make a splash. It's all happening at the Pasco Memorial Aquatic Park. Your summer fun starts here.
Got a birthday coming up, celebrating a big win, or just want to gather the crew for a pizza and a good time? For decades, Hubby's Pizza has been the go-to spot for family, friends, and fun. Reserve your table and bring the whole gang. Kids, family, teammates, whoever loves great pizza and good vibes. Dig into your favorite pizza, hit up the fresh salad bar, and let the kids have a blast in the arcade. And if the party's at your place, no problem. Hubby's now delivers through Grubhub and DoorDash. A community tradition, a place to celebrate. Acquire the Hubby's habit today.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. a commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Get employee pricing plus 1.9% and $4,500 bonus cash on a 2024 Ford F-150 STX, only at your local Ford dealer.
Hello, I'm Alan Brecky from Alan Brecky Law Offices. For over 30 years, we've been protecting public safety in the Tri-Cities and surrounding communities. Some of our cases over the years have contributed to safer roads, safer public events, and a safer environment for our children.
Buffalo on Fly the Northwest tonight. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today is indeed another First Alert Weather Day, as we're going to have the threat for fire starting or spreading quickly, as we'll have that combination of winds, dry air, and dry vegetation. So first, let's talk about the winds. 2 p.m. today to 5 in the morning tomorrow morning, as we could have peak gusts up around 45 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, around 35 miles per hour in the Morrow County foothills. And then you factor in just how dry the air is going to be. And remember, when these values dip below 20 to 25%, we would classify that as very dry. Yeah, we're certainly going to be below that threshold, at least for lower elevations, but even in the blues, it's looking dicey. And these are pretty dry values by the Cascade standards as well. Now for Wednesday and Thursday, the threat is going to be the same. We'll have the potential fires to start and spread quickly, but this time the threat is more so going to be confined to lower elevations. So once again, wind gust up around 50 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, 45 miles per hour for the Morrow County foothills. That would be from 2 p.m. on Wednesday to 2 in the morning on Thursday. You factor in just how dry the air is going to be, and especially for the lower valley, for the basin, for the Blue Foothills, 5%, 7%, 7%. So very dry air out there once again. And then for Thursday, okay, peak gust once again up around 50 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, 45 miles per hour for the Morrow County foothills. Then you factor in the air once again, and you see values not as low this time, but still a good chunk of these values below 20 to 25%. So we'll once again see the combination of dry air, dry vegetation, strong wind gusts, so fires could start or spread very quickly. We need everyone to exercise all of that fire safety. And for today, exercise the heat safety, as we'll still be about 20 degrees above average for this time of the year. And the wind's going to pick up over the next few days, as we'll have a series of dry cold fronts. So that's what's going to knock our high temperatures down to more seasonal values by the time we get to Friday and beyond. Rain chances in the forecast, forget about it. A little sprinkle here or there for the mountains, but nothing to make our vegetation any less stressed out. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Dangerous fire weather Tuesday through Thursday, then a warm and pleasant weekend ahead. In Yakima, hot, dry, and breezy over the next few days, but feeling much cooler by the end of the week. In Ellensburg, strong winds over the next few days, so there will be the potential for fires to start and spread quickly. Thankfully, a reprieve from the winds this weekend. In Hermiston, maybe hitting 100 once again for Tuesday, but dramatically cooler over the next few days. Then for Walla Walla, also the concern for fire starts over the next few days, then some calmer weather to round out this week.
Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest, a music icon passes away. A Broadway broadcast breaks records, and an 87-year-old singer becomes TikTok royalty. What's old is new again, and it's all in today's entertainment headlines. It's 5:23. We're back after the break.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Hit by a big truck? I'm attorney Mariana Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
For 600 different cigars and 125 pipe tobaccos. For every cigar rated 96 and higher by Cigar Aficionado. For 200 accessories including dozens of humidors and fine pipes. It's the educated cigar.
Win and save with Lucky Number Tuesday at Buy-Mart. You can win Togi Dark and milk chocolate wafers. Plus save with Tuesday-only pricing and buy them for 2 for $3. Win and save on Lucky Number Tuesday only at Buy-Mart.
Got a family reunion in the works? Make it unforgettable at Beaver Valley Lodge. With cozy rooms, beautiful mountain views, and plenty of space to gather, it's the perfect place to reconnect and make new memories. Book direct with us and get 10% off. That means more savings for barbecues, bonfires, and all those late-night laughs. So skip the middleman and book direct today, because great reunions start with the perfect place to stay, Beaver Valley Lodge. Come as a guest and leave as a friend.
My family's been serving the Tri-Cities for 86 years at Griggs and the Tri-Cities Ace stores. And we have some deals we don't want you to miss. Get ready for hot weather. This fan's a steal at $29.99. A grill would make a great Father's Day gift. We have many in stock at super prices. Ace pleated furnace filters are buy 3, get 1 free. HCH Pool Shock Advanced is half price at $4.99. See all the deals using this QR code. Come see us at Griggs and the Tri-Cities Ace stores. And thank you for your business.
Today, too many of us walk away from our primary care appointments feeling rushed and unheard.
We were frustrated too, so we decided to change the quality of healthcare here in the Tri-Cities.
At Primary Care at the PC, we take the time to truly listen. With 1 hour-long appointments, we care about the whole you. You don't have to be a member to be our patient, but once you're here, you might want to be.
Now welcoming new patients. Book your appointments online or call us at 509-783-5465. Primary Care at the PC. Play hard, live well.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Hit by a big truck? I'm attorney Mariana Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
Buffalo on Fly the Northwest tonight.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In your entertainment headlines this morning, we're remembering music legend Sly Stone, whose groundbreaking sound changed the industry forever.
Yeah, plus a major ratings win for the Tony Awards, thanks in part to a Hamilton reunion that brought down the house.
And one classic voice is going viral with Gen Z. Connie Francis is having a TikTok moment at 87 years old. So here's Jacqueline Lee with what's happening in Hollywood today.
That's all, please. That's it. That's all.
Pioneering rock and roll Hall of Famer Sly Stone of Sly and the Family Stone has died at age 82. Stone was the driving creative force behind the Family Stone, the first major American rock band to be racially integrated. Their hits, including Dance to the Music, Everyday People, and Family Affair, were a highly influential combination of soul, funk, R&B, rock, and psychedelia. Sunday night's Tony Awards, which included a Hamilton cast reunion, didn't throw away its shot. According to Variety, it was the highest-rated Tony's telecast since 2019.
Pretty little baby, I'm so in love with you.
Pretty Little Baby, an obscure 1962 song by Connie Francis, has gone viral on TikTok with more than 27 billion views on the platform. Now, 87-year-old Francis has joined TikTok herself and says she's overwhelmed at the reaction to her song.
To think that a song I recorded 63 years ago is captivating new generations of audiences truly overwhelming for me. Thank you, TikTok.
Who's the one that didn't bring lice into the office? Meredith.
And The Office star Kate Flannery is 61 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Oh, it's a classic right there.
Oh, that just made my day.
I know.
Anything Office related just makes my day.
That's so great.
And now that song will be stuck in my head too.
Oh, all day long.
Not
absolutely.
Josh, you're not getting a song stuck in my head today. That did. But you still have time.
Beat me to the punch, dang it.
Did you guys watch any of the Tony Awards?
No, not really. I saw the recap later yesterday.
I need to go back and
the Cynthia Erivo recap.
Do all the things. Yeah, I know. All right. So much for ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Toppenish Police asking the community to help find a vulnerable woman who vanished after leaving a Yakima care facility. We have the details on where she was last seen.
Plus, one Sela father's emotional mission to honor his daughter's memory and raise awareness for domestic violence comes to an end today. We'll show you how the community is rallying behind him this morning. That's all in your next half hour, but first, here are your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Apple is introducing a new software design called Liquid Glass. It uses real-time rendering to give a glass feel with transparent menus and features. Liquid Glass will be available across almost all Apple devices. The new iOS 26 software also comes with upgrades for the Messages app. You'll now be able to see live indicators showing who is typing, even in group chats. You can now decorate your conversations with background wallpaper as well. Finally, the Nintendo Switch 2 is reportedly being sold at a record pace. Industry insiders report that more than 3 million of the consoles were bought on its release day just last week. The previous record was roughly 1 million units. At that pace, Switch 2 could beat the 2-month sales record in less than a week. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm Rhiannon Alley. Have a great day, everyone.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first.
Is that your car?
Yeah. No. No.
Like you know to check your sunroof is closed first, before going through the car wash.
Darn it.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and save when you click or call. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Upset stomach? Iberogast. Indigestion? Iberogast. Bloating? Iberogast. Thanks to a unique combination of herbs, Iberogast helps relieve 6 digestive symptoms to help you feel better. 6 digestive symptoms, the power of nature. Iberogast.
Every breath you take, every move you make, every day you wake, make no mistake, we'll be helping you. Every breath you take.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us, joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
Is it still going?
Crushing it.
It's still going. It's still going. You missed there. Well, you were here for 1,000, but it wasn't as exciting hitting 1,025. Not as much pomp
but
or circumstance to it.
1,050 sounds good.
But 1,050, you know, we'll take it.
Not too shabby. So do you have another goal in mind? Because you crushed your last 2 goals.
I don't have, that's just too much stress. I have other things to worry about over there in the Weather Center. So yeah, it's up to 1,050 now. And of course, if you don't know, we're talking about our jackpot, our 3-degree guarantee jackpot, sponsored by our friends at the Legends.
Cash with Colbert.
Thank you for all the kind nicknames. Yeah, sponsored by our friends at the Legends Casino and Hotel. Yesterday went with a forecast high of 104 in Pasco Tri-Cities, verified at 103. So for today, a little bit cooler. Just going with a forecast high of 100 in Pasco Tri-Cities. So if it verifies between 97 and 103, the jackpot's going to hit 1,075. If that doesn't happen, the jackpot could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to applevalleyNewsNow.com, clicking on the contest page, or you can scan the QR code that's on your screen. Okay, now what's on your screen is this. Familiar sight. First alert weather day for today. So we'll have widespread breezy and windy conditions, that combination of dry air and dry vegetation. So fires could start or spread very quickly for all elevations of southeastern Washington and northeastern Oregon. And we'll have more as we head into Wednesday and Thursday. But first, temperatures for this morning. Mostly 60s and 70s for lower elevations. We are still stuck in the mid-50s in Yakima and 50s and 60s up in the mountains, but very mild/warm for lower elevations. Your hour by hour for today for the Tri-Cities going to be into the 70s as soon as 8 this morning, into the mid-80s as soon as 10, and then 90s and triple digits as we head into the afternoon. So for today, even though we'll be cooler compared to yesterday, we'll still be about 20 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year, and cooler into the next couple of days, but fire weather concerns still certainly going to be there, at least for lower elevations for Wednesday and Thursday. I'll show you some of the fire fuel data to back this up coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. We do start this half hour of news with an update on a fire that sparked just Monday afternoon.
It started just before 2:30 near Road 62 and West Sylvester Street. Pasco fire crews responded to a grass fire that scorched 2 acres in a residential area.
Officials say the fire was actually sparked while someone was mowing, specifically a brush cutter that they were using. No injuries reported. Luckily, no structures damaged either.
Officials say the incident serves as a reminder of how quickly things can ignite with these dry, hot conditions.
And all of this as Walla Walla fire crews are sounding the alarm on extreme heat and how the risk goes beyond even wildfires.
That's right. Temperatures are expected to climb into the triple digits again today, and first responders are warning it can be dangerously fast.
Yeah, fire officials say that this kind of heat can turn an average medical call into a life-threatening emergency in just minutes. That's why Walla Walla Fire has extra staff in place and is proactively checking on the city's most vulnerable residents.
It's all part of the city's CARES program, which focuses on community wellness and emergency prevention during extreme conditions.
We have 4 people in the CARES unit, and they have pickups that have water, and we're out driving around, and if we see somebody in the park and stuff like that that we know are part of that clientele, the homeless, then we'll just stop by and make sure that they have water and stuff for them.
Thompson says hydration is key. Drink plenty of water, preferably with electrolytes if you can, and find some shade if you need to be outdoors.
Also keep an eye out for your neighbors too, especially senior citizens and those without air conditioning.
Yeah, also in response to the rising temperatures, the Benton Franklin Health District is partnering with Washington 211 and Ben Franklin Transit, sharing an updated list of cooling centers. So BFHD advises residents to, of course, drink water, even if you don't feel thirsty, and avoid strenuous activity when temperatures peak. As for your pets, they say do not leave them in any vehicles, and make sure to protect their little paws from the hot pavement by walking pets after sunset or even early in the morning. You can see a list of all the cooling centers right there on your screen, but you can also call 211 at any time to find one. Throughout the Yakima Valley, all Yakima Valley libraries and Yakima Nation Library are open up when temperatures hit over 100 degrees. The Harmon Center in the city of Yakima also offers as a cooling center. We have all this information on our website, of course.
New this morning, a silver alert has been placed on a missing 73-year-old woman in Toppenish. Police say Joan Papantonio checked out of the Toppenish Nursing and Rehab Center on June 1st. She was picked up by her roommate's sister and dropped off in the Terrace Heights area of Yakima County. The last known contact with Joan was by phone on June 4th with the same woman who gave her the ride. At this time, it's unclear what she was wearing, and officers say she is wheelchair bound. If you've seen her or have any information about her whereabouts, you're urged to call 911 immediately.
And in Walla Walla, big changes are rolling out, literally. The school district just unveiling what's now the largest fleet of electric school buses in Washington state. These buses came courtesy of a $3.7 million EPA grant and another $1 million from the Department of Ecology. In all, 18 bright yellow rigs, 6 with chair lifts, are ready to roll students to class come this fall. Each electric bus is projected to save about $4,000 a year in fuel. Multiply that by 18, and Walla Walla schools could pocket more than $70,000 annually. Money, leaders say, can head straight back into the classrooms.
This is a huge milestone for the community. One, we're not putting pollutants back into the air anymore, or at least not as much.
Walla Walla joins a growing number of school districts nationwide working to lower emissions and promote clean air, especially important in a region vulnerable to wildfire smoke and poor air quality days.
Now to environmental news here in Washington. New hunting rules are now in place, and they're all aimed at stopping the spread of a serious disease that affects deer, elk, and moose. This spring, the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife rolled out new regulations to help keep chronic wasting disease, or CWD, out of the state. The disease, which attacks an animal's nervous system, is always fatal and spreads through infected animals or even carcasses. To help stop it, new rules now ban baiting and feeding of deer or elk, and it requires hunters to report their activity and limit how dead game can be transported.
People pick it up unknowingly, and they move it to where they live, and it can spread that way. So there's always that concern, and that's really our biggest concern, for it's spreading into areas that we don't know about.
So far, there have been 5 confirmed cases of CWD in Washington. Officials say these changes are a proactive step to protect the state's wildlife before it becomes a larger problem. Now this morning in Selah, one father's emotional tribute is coming to a close.
Yeah, Brian Harris, the owner of Brian Harris Used Cars, has spent the past 2 nights living in a chain link kennel, all to honor the memory of his daughter. It's a part of the Live Like Emily Jail and Bail Challenge, a fundraiser that raises awareness for domestic violence and supports survivors.
Emily was just 30 when she was killed by her husband in 2020, a tragedy that deeply impacted the community. The kennel is symbolic, representing the fear and isolation that many survivors face. Brian fills it with memories of Emily, photos, snacks, even stories, all while collecting donations and sharing messages of hope.
So today is the final day of the challenge, but there's still time to support the cause and help Brian end his stay with a strong show of community love.
And you can find more information and links to donate on his business's social media pages. Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, with summer approaching, more people will be spending time outdoors, but with extended time in the sun comes more risks. Coming up in today's Health Minute, we have the steps you can take to stay safe under the summer sun.
And speaking of sunshine, take a live look outside from our Dust Devils camera in Pasco. Beautiful blue skies as we start your Tuesday. When we come back, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert will have your first alert forecast. It is 5:40.
Register today. Register your team for $140. Ends midnight Tuesday, June 24th.
And Consumer Reports.
We're testers.
This organization accepts no advertising or sponsorship.
Since 1936.
Testing dishwashers, TVs, cars, vacuums.
We buy directly from stores, just like you.
Making sure products are safe.
And that they last.
Because we're advocates.
Engineers and scientists. We're testers. We're Consumer Reports.
Join us.
For 600 different cigars and 125 pipe tobaccos. For every cigar rated 96 and higher by Cigar Aficionado. For 200 accessories including dozens of humidors and fine pipes. It's the educated cigar.
Heart disease is the #1 killer of men. Good food choices like making fruits and vegetables half your dinner plate can help you stay well. More at AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
Sponsored locally by Prosser Memorial Health. Learn more at prosserhealth.org. This is how we care.
Our #1 service here at NIU Women's Clinic and Aesthetics is our weight loss program. Our program is really focused on a lifestyle change. We want our patients to be able to lose around 10 to 15 pounds of weight loss a month is what we see. But when they're done with us on the program, we want them to be able to keep that weight off. We don't want to see them yo-yo.
So I've lost about 40 to 50 pounds, and that's been over the span of 3 to 4 months. At my peak, I think I was losing probably 10 pounds a week. It was quite a bit, and I just noticed it was falling off of me.
So we are proud to announce that we are releasing a virtual weight loss program. What makes our program so successful for both men and women is the fact that we are treating exactly the reason why you're gaining this weight in the first place. By addressing your insulin insensitivity, your hormone balancing, your lifestyle, treating everything. We really focus on you and your needs.
Now open in Yakima. Go to newuwomensclinic.com to start your weight loss journey today.
It's not easy being Mariano Morales' horse. He needs to ride the clients all the time. He does take care of them. He gets the insurance company to pay for medical bills, car repairs, even money for pain and suffering. Looks like it's going to be another busy day. Better get warmed up. After all, I am his best friend.
Hurt in a car wreck? Give me a call.
Big or small, we work them all.
I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the heavy hitter.
The heavy hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
You love AFG.
Yes!
Get ready for AFG.
It's America's funniest people.
Hot dog! Hosted by Alfonso Ribeiro and Allison Hannigan. An AFB special, Sunday on ABC.
All across America.
Good morning. Good morning.
Wherever we are, it feels like home.
Man, it's good to be home.
GMA, it's an invitation to come together and brighten your morning.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Yesterday was hot, today a little bit less hot. but I'd still classify it as very hot. 94 for Ellensburg, 101 for Vantage, mid-70s up in the Cascades. It will be breezy / windy across the map for today. Peak gust around 40 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. In the Yakima Valley, we're going to be right on the cusp of triple digits. A little bit breezy, peak gusts out of the north and west between 15 to 20 miles per hour. In the lower Columbia Basin, a little bit breezier here, peak gusts between 20 to 30 miles per hour. I think we'll have a better shot of hitting 100 here as opposed to in the Yakima Valley. And then I think we're probably going to be shy of 100 in the Blue Foothills. Could be within striking distance, though, for places like Milton, Freewater, and Pilot Rock. 70s and 80s up in the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. And also quite windy out this way, especially in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County. Peak gust up around 30 to 35 miles per hour. All right, now on to today's vegetation dryness forecast. We've established that it's going to be hot, it's going to be breezy / windy, the air is going to be dry. Here's what the vegetation is going to look like. And remember, 100% would indicate each microclimate's driest vegetation since 2000. We're going to be in that critically dry level by fire season standards for the Cascades, for the valleys, for the basin, and for the foothills. Not just for today, also for tomorrow. A little bit more relief in the Cascades, specifically in the lower Yakima Basin. Then these numbers going down just a little bit more into Thursday, but still certainly some very tough fire weather conditions over the next few days. I'll touch on the wind gusts once again coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Now, with those rising temperatures and summer almost here, more time is being spent outdoors and under the sun.
Yeah, overexposure to ultraviolet rays can not only raise the risk of developing skin cancer, but it can also be painful.
In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has ways to treat and prevent sunburns this summer.
From the pool to the beach, or even just playing outdoors, this time of year we're exposed to excessive amounts of sun.
If you're starting to feel uncomfortable, you've already experienced the start of a sunburn.
Dr. Susan Masick with the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center says sunburns may take up to 5 hours to show. If you suspect you're getting burned, she says to get indoors and out of ultraviolet light exposure. Once inside, stay as cool as possible. Get into air conditioning or in front of a fan, or take a cold shower. Cold compresses can also help, so can ice packs, but wrap the pack in a towel so they're not directly on burned skin. She says anti-inflammatory medicines like ibuprofen can also make you feel better, as well as aloe vera gel to keep skin cool.
You want to avoid anything that could be occlusive or that will trap in heat. So avoid any types of ointments or creams or heavy moisturizers that will just make you feel even more warm.
Since excessive UV ray exposure also raises the risk of skin cancer, Masick says it's best to avoid sunburns altogether. You can wear ultraviolet protection factor or UPF clothing, rash guards, swimsuits, and wide-brimmed hats, or apply a broad spectrum sunscreen about 15 minutes before heading outdoors so it has time to absorb, and reapply every 2 to 3 hours.
But certainly if you find that you're perspiring or sweating or swimming, you may want to reapply sooner.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Now, if you get a severe sunburn, have significant blisters, have difficulty staying hydrated, or even have a lot of pain, then it is time to see a doctor. Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, we've got your morning sprint, everything you need to know before you head out the door. And Josh will be back with your full First Alert weather forecast. Keep it here. We'll be right back in just a few minutes.
The Coliseum in Rome had their gladiator games, but it can't compete with Legends Casino Hotel's Coliseum of Cash. During our Summer of Games Thursday drawings in June, we're giving away over $77,000 in cash, plus a new Kawasaki side-by-side. Just use your Legends rewards card to earn entries. Who needs Roman chariot races when you can leave them all in the dust in a Kawasaki side-by-side? All hail Legends Casino Hotel in June, and let this Summer of Games begin.
To me, Harlem is home, but home is also your body.
Last one, everyone.
I asked myself, why doesn't Pilates exist in Harlem? So I started my own studio. Getting a brick and mortar in New York is not easy. Chase Inc. has supported us from Studio 1 to Studio 3. When you start small, you need some big help, and Chase Inc. was that for me.
Earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials with the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card from Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours.
Did you know Tri-City Lumber Company isn't just for contractors? We're your local source for decking, railing, hardware, and more, open to everyone. For over 30 years, DIYers and homeowners have trusted us for quality materials and expert one-on-one advice. Now, under new ownership, we're making it even easier to shop local and build better. Skip the big box stores. Visit Tri-City Lumber today on Clearwater and Kennewick, or call us at 509-783-3322 today.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. A commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Get employee pricing plus 1.9% and $4,500 bonus cash on a 2024 Ford F-150 STX. Only at your local Ford dealer.
It's the Click It RV Roll Into Summer sales event going on now at your local Click It RV store with huge manufacturers discounts from Forest River, StarCraft, and more. Get zero down, nothing, and no payments for 6 months, and get top dollar for your trade. And talk about giveaways. Win a StarCraft trailer or $30,000 in cash. You can beat the coming tariffs, but nobody beats a Click It RV deal. We guarantee it. So don't miss the Roll Into Summer sales event at your local Click It RV store. Spokane, Milton, Freewater, Moses Lake, and Union Gap.
Stacy Lee. First Alert Weather. Watch tonight. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Yes, today is another First Alert Weather Day, as there's going to be the chance that fires could start or spread quickly for all elevations of southeastern Washington and northeastern Oregon because of that combination of the winds, the dry air, and the dry vegetation. So the winds for today, peak gust up around 45 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, 35 miles per hour in the Morrow County foothills. And then on this graphic, relative humidity, which measures moisture in the air, where you see orange, that's where the air is going to be very dry. And for all lower elevations, even getting into the blues, it's going to be very dry out there for today. Then for tomorrow and Thursday, another set of First Alert Weather Days, this time not for all elevations of southeastern Washington and northeastern Oregon, just for the lower elevations, the valleys, the basin, and the foothills. Again, same combination of ingredients. We'll parse it out day by day. First, mostly for Wednesday, peak gust up around 50 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, 45 miles per hour in the Morrow County foothills. The air for Wednesday, once again, a lot of orange for lower elevations, especially in the basin and the foothills. And like I said, we're going to parse this out. So now for Thursday, the winds for Thursday, very similar to Wednesday. Peak gust up around 50 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, 45 miles per hour in the Morrow County foothills. Now the air, not going to be as dry for Thursday, but still seeing values. Remember, when these values get below 20 to 25%, we will classify that as very dry as well. 13% for the Tri-Cities, 15% for Hermiston, 17% for Sunnyside. So certainly dry enough for fires to sustain themselves, just not as dry as Tuesday or Wednesday. And the reason why the winds are going to be such a factor over these next few days is because we're going to have a series of dry cold fronts moving through the area. That's going to knock our high temperatures down. That's the good news. But the bad news, obviously, we stated it, the winds and the dry air and the dry vegetation. But we like to see this, more seasonal stuff for Friday and beyond. We don't like to see this. Not a lot of rainfall in the forecast over the next 7 days. A little dink and dunk shower chances up in the mountains, but that's about it. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Dangerous fire weather Tuesday through Thursday, then a warm and pleasant weekend ahead. In Yakima, hot, dry, and breezy over the next few days, but feeling much cooler by the end of the week. In Ellensburg, strong winds over the next few days, so there will be the potential for fires to start and spread quickly. Thankfully, a reprieve from the winds this weekend. In Hermiston, maybe hitting 100 once again for Tuesday, but dramatically cooler over the next few days. Then for Walla Walla, also the concern for fire starts over the next couple days, then some calmer weather to round out this week.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time is now 5:52. It's time for your morning sprint in our 5 o'clock hour.
And we want to start off with the top 5 local things you need to know this morning, and that starts with some fire watch. Crews are continuing to battle the Red Bridge fire near Cle Elum. That blaze sparked just Monday afternoon. It's already scorched about 60 acres. Several homes and power lines are threatened. A level 2 and 3 evacuation order are still in place. State and federal resources are on scene, and the U.S. Forest Service has taken command.
In Walla Walla, officials are bracing for a heat index near 105 degrees for later today. Fire crews are checking on vulnerable residents as part of the city's CARES program and also reminding everyone to stay hydrated and out of the sun.
And drivers in Yakima should expect some delays along Fair Avenue between Pacific and Adams this morning. Waterline work is underway, starts at 7 o'clock and will go all day until about 3:30 this afternoon. Only one lane will be open in each direction, so use alternate routes if possible.
In Yakima County, a silver alert is still active for Joan Papantonio, a wheelchair-bound woman who was last seen after checking out of a Toppenish nursing facility. If you've seen her or know where she could be, call 911.
And Sunnyside has appointed Jim Bridges as its interim city manager. He's no stranger to the area, having served in the role before and as the city's public works director. Despite a close council vote, city leaders say Bridges was the most comfortable choice.
And authorities are investigating a burglary at the Seattle home of rapper Macklemore. A police report says 2 men broke into his home just after midnight on Saturday, wearing face masks and tactical vests and also armed with bear spray. Authorities say a woman at the home, who police say was the nanny, was sprayed with the bear spray and was told to show where the valuables were. 3 children were also in the home sleeping but were not harmed. It's not clear if Macklemore, whose real name is Ben Haggerty, was home at the time.
5:54 in your business headlines this morning. Apple says its software design is getting a makeover. It's unveiled a series of changes for its iPhone, iPad, and other devices. The announcement came just Monday during the company's annual Worldwide Developers Conference in California. The company is calling its new interface Liquid Glass. It'll feature see-through visuals that appear to have a glossy surface.
In your health headlines this morning, HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has dismissed an expert panel of vaccine advisors. These are people who have historically guided the federal government's vax recommendations. Kennedy said the group is, quote, plagued with conflicts of interest. Kennedy has the authority to appoint and dismiss committee members, but removing the entire panel is unprecedented.
5:55 talking sports this morning. Seattle Mariners take on the Arizona Diamondbacks last night. They lost, final score 4-8, but they could potentially redeem themselves as they take them on again tonight.
Trending this morning, did you know the U.S. tosses out over 292 million tons of waste every year? That's a lot of trash, almost 5 pounds per person each day.
Wow, it's basically carrying around a small watermelon of garbage every day. That's a lot.
But it's not all doom and gloom, as some states are really stepping up their game to protect the planet, and Washington is one of them.
So according to Smile Hub, Washington ranked second best in the nation for environmental efforts, right behind golden sunny California.
Washington's also in the top 10 for environmental charities per capita, parks and wildlife land, and green transportation use.
So while we might all be creating our own share of trash, Washingtonians are showing how to clean up and get green.
Woohoo.
There you go.
Washington. I'm not surprised, though.
No, not at all.
It's always ahead in environmental efforts, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up in our 6 o'clock hour, it has been a week since the manhunt began for the father accused of killing his 3 daughters. Now authorities believe they could have a potential lead to where he might be.
Plus, the Seattle Kraken has a new coach, and he says he's got high expectations for the team. Those headlines and more coming up in our next hour. And Josh, what are you tracking?
Yeah, we'll have an update on the evacuations in Cle Elum, also showing you how there's the potential for more fires to start and spread quickly over the next few days. So all that coming up on Good Morning Northwest at 6.